Hello, 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 and good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. This is Caron, your ATX Stampin' Lady, coming to you live from Austin, Texas. Welcome to Stamping in the Craft Room with Caron. We got a lot to unpack tonight, you guys. Really quickly, as always, let me go ahead and just welcome you to the craft room. If you are new to my channel, please take a moment, say hello. Let me know where you're joining me from, where you're stamping with me from. If you are returning, guys, welcome back. And I hope you guys were able to grab your supplies so that you can join me for a little bit of stamping in the craft room. Awesome. Well, today is September 6th. And you guys, what happened on September 6th? Well, let me tell you, y'all, this catalog is now live. Woohoo! Can you say I'm excited about that? Because guess what? I can now show you the inside of the catalog when we're stamping. We had to wait until the catalog went live before we could do that on social medias and videos and so on and so forth. So I'm totally excited to share with you what's going on the inside of the catalog. And I'm going to do a quick review as to how I walk through, just to walk you through the catalog. And then, as you can see, I have started tabbing my catalog so that I know where what is and when it is, okay? Meaning, I know where my Christmas section starts. I know where I can start my fall products. I know where I can start my Halloween products. And then I'm going to go in and do some other things as far as tabbing is concerned. But that's what I wanted to share with you, that this catalog went live today, and I'm totally excited about it. Couple new things. I don't have a graphic for it, or I would share it with you. We have today 5 new designer series papers have been added to the online exclusives, and you guys, they are absolutely gorgeous papers. Okay, I'll tell you about them. Let's see, one of them is a silver and gold adhesive backed glimmer paper. What does that mean? It's like the shimmer glimmer paper, but there's already adhesive on the back of it, so you don't have to worry about, especially if you're using it for die cuts, you don't have to worry about trying to add adhesive to the back of it because it's already there. You can't miss it. It's absolutely amazing. We have a DSP that's called Shining Christmas, one that's Traditions of St. Nick, Delightful Floral, and Tartan Foil. Those are the new 5, and they are available only in the online exclusive. You will not find them in the catalog, and I believe Stampin' Up made it a point to say that it is while supplies last. If you're a DSP hoarder like me, you guys, please check it out and make sure you grab that before it's all gone. Let me show you what else we've got coming up, share with you what else we've got coming up. Mark your calendars, you guys. October 7th is World Card Making Day, and Stampin' Up is hosting a free virtual event on the 7th. You don't have to, it's not a cost to attend. It is virtually free. Now, let me share with you, I think I had it in here. I think I had it in here. Let me check. Oh, so we have here's one of the products. This is a new product that is available specifically for the World Card Making Day event. Also, that you'll use, one of the projects will be with this bundle. There will be a project with the Circle Sayings bundle, and then one with the Earth and Elegance bundle. So if you have those, if you have any of those products already, I will share with you the measurement so that you can prepare. I'm going to share it with you a little bit later, just because I know sometimes we're like a month out already, and so sometimes we tend to maybe misplace things. So about a week or so before, that's when I'll share with you the supply list for the World Card Making Day. This bundle right here, the Heartfelt Hexagon, you guys, this was available today. It is not in the catalog, so you won't be able to find it in the catalog if you're looking. Can you? Let me not say that. I don't think it's in the catalog. Sometimes I gotta make sure. See, I can share it with you now. So it is not in the catalog, okay? So if you want to get this product and you're going to join in on the World Card Making Day on October 7th, please don't forget to add that to your cart as soon as possible. You want to get it while it's available, okay? The kit for the new kit for September that I'm gonna probably be using for my kit along is the Christmas Everywhere kit. The Christmas Everywhere kit, there's enough supplies to create 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs, 9 coordinating envelopes, a photopolymer stamp set. In the kit, you will get a Lost Lagoon ink spot, printed card bases, die cut labels and images with red glitter, and a clear block. So that's what you'll get for this new kit. Now my kit alongs, you guys, when they're the last Friday of the month, and with that kit along you are free to work on whatever kits you have. So if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, bring a Paper Pumpkin and get to cracking. I have so many of them stacked up that I do need to start working on my own Paper Pumpkin kits just to get rid of the stacks, to reduce my stacks. Alrighty, so now I am ready to rock and roll. Is everybody ready? Because I am. Alright, so for today, what are we working on? Like I said, we are working... Does my camera seem crooked to you? Let me check and see. Let me check it and see. All right. All right, perfect. All right, so what are we working on tonight? Tonight we are doing a form of card making that is called a stack, cut, or slice. And I think I'm probably going to take it because I change it because I like alliteration. So I'm probably going to change it to a stack, slice, and shuffle card making technique. What does that mean? Well, with 3 different pieces or 4 different, depending on how many you're using, you can create 4 different cards with just 3 pieces of cardstock. So let me share with you what I'm using. I'm using paper tonight from the Inked Botanicals stamp suite, and I have chosen, and I hope they're gonna look good together. I don't know, we'll find out. I haven't tried this before. I haven't made any of these. So I'm using this print. I'm using this print. So the key to selecting, one moment please, you guys. Can y'all see me? All right, I think you can. All right, so the key to selecting your cardstock or your designer series paper is you want, if you're gonna do prints, right? So you have to make sure a couple of things, that you have some of the busier prints, 2 or 3 of them, depending on how many you're gonna do. And then you want a little bit more of the solids that's not as busy per se. So we could even use that one, although this one's a little busy. So these are the 4 patterns that I'm going to use in my print, and I'm using 6 by 6. Okay. The other thing that you need to be very cognizant of is to make sure, if you are using directional, if you're using designer series paper or pattern paper for you not in the Stampin' Up world, if you are using designer series paper that has a print that is directional, meaning that you can clearly tell if the flowers are upside down or they're in the wrong direction. So you do need to pay attention if you have directional cardstock. All right, so I think we're going to use 4 cards. We're going to make 4 cards. So because we're making 4 cards, we need 4 pieces of designer series paper. And we'll start with 6 by 6 and we'll go through the cutting on that one. And I'll share with you what else we're using. We are needing some cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5. And you guys, for me, 3 3/4 by 5, it's because primarily I'm going to cut my designer series paper down to 3 3/4 by 5. But because I typically have a challenge with lining things up straight, I generally will almost always create a backing the same size to whatever I'm going to cut my designer series paper to, so I can line it up on this sheet before I put it on another coordinating mat. So this is 3 3/4 by 5. So we have our our designer paper, that's 6 by 6. We have our workable mat layer, that's 3 3/4 by 5. We have a mat layer, and I'm using Very Vanilla today. My trimmer just went berserk. I'm gonna have to trim this up or make it a deckled edge on both of them. I'm not sure. So I'm using Petal Pink. Yeah, this is horrible. Anyway, I'm using Petal Pink for my paper, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. Yeah, I'm gonna bring my trimmer in and try to get these straggler things off. And my card base is gonna be 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And for my project tonight, I am using Pebbled Path. So again, my colored patterns for tonight are Petal Pink, Very Vanilla, Pebbled Path. I grabbed some vellum because I want to incorporate some vellum tonight. I'm not sure how. I'm using some ribbon, Petal Pink, and I have, here's my Pebbled Path card base, okay? All right, so the star of the show tonight, you guys, is our paper trimmer. Okay. And the key to the stack, cut, and shuffle is you have to cut them all together. So if you need to make sure that you have a good blade, your blade is pretty sharp. Let me clean my track out just to make sure that I don't have any issues tonight. Okay. All right, so the first thing I want to do is, because this is a 6 by 6 and I only need 3 3/4 by 5, is I'm going to cut my 5 off because I'm going to make it, well, in this instance, I'm going to cut it to 3 3/4 first. So I'm going to line it up with the 3 3/4. Make sure all of my papers are together, and I'm going to slide my blade up, back, make sure I have good cuts. So I've cut my 3 3/4. You don't want to throw these out. This we're going to use for envelopes. So we've got our 3 3/4. We're going to turn this around and we're going to cut this at 5. Make sure everybody's lined up. And the key of, again, like I said, is keeping them all together, because when we shuffle them, they've all got to, because they're cut at the same, they should all fit the same way because they're cut the same. So 3 3/4 by 5. All right. So we're going to have to make, and so this we're going to use on the inside of our card, okay? All righty. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to line everything up. Notice I just keep stacking them because it's important to make sure they are stacked. And I'm going to pick a point, any point from one side. So I just got it off kilter. Hey, Sue. Thanks for joining me tonight. I hope traffic was okay. I'm assuming that's why you are a little bit late. All right, so you're gonna pick a point on any side and cut. So there's no measurements for the cuts, okay? And I'm gonna start, because I have this on the diagonal, I am gonna start my cutting on the paper itself, okay? And I'm doing that because I don't want it to get caught. Oh my goodness. I don't want it to get caught and snag on the paper. All right, I gotta line this up again. So my first slice, and again, I am just picking any point. So all of our cards will look different even though we're using the same. Okay. And we're going to leave this one here just like so. We're going to turn this. Again, making sure that all of our stacks stay in the same order together. And we're going to make another cut. Okay. And because we're going to do 4 cards, we got to have, because we have 4 designer series papers, we've got to have 4 cuts. Okay, make sense? I don't want it like that. So I'm going to tilt it just a little bit. And again, I'm going to start on the paper and cut. Okay. So that's this one. And then lastly, oops. So we've got 1 stack here, 1 here, and then we're going to make a 4th cut on this one. Now remember, our base cut on this that we're cutting is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. So again, just pick another spot. Wait, do we just want to do 3? Well, let's see. Do we just want to do 3 cuts? No. I'm going to do 4. Let me see if that makes sense. All right. Let's do 3 and see if we can do 4 different cards, right? We can always put everybody back together. And so how this works is now we're going to shuffle. Okay? So card number 1, we'll have this. This. And this. So this will be 1 card right here. Card number 2 will be this. This. Oh, see, we're going to do something wrong here. And this. So that's card number 2, card number 3, and card number 4. Okay. That's 1. Okay. And this will be our, so this is actually how our 3 cards are going, our 4 cards is going to shake out tonight, okay? Ah, all right. So again, for me, because I need a lot of help, so what I'm going to do, like I said, I cut my piece of Very Vanilla, because that is my colors that I'm using. And I cut this to also 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. And so I'm gonna grab my liquid adhesive here. And I'm just gonna start layering my pieces, okay? And the good thing about all of this is because everybody has points, we kind of know where everything needs to go. So this one will be right, and make sure I cut, like I said, this very vanilla to the same size as my designer paper. So everything should fit perfectly on this cardstock, okay? That is just a tip for me. I use these kind of cheats. I call them cheats because when I am crafting, because I just cannot line things up properly, it's just something in my brain that just does not allow that. I don't know what it is. So because I have that base layer, it's just easier for me. So now I know everything is aligned perfectly. And in a flash, that is how quickly we will create 4 cards tonight. Okay? That's number 1. Okay? Card number 2. Gonna do the same thing. And because we're assembly lining things, that's the reason I'm doing it this way, okay? The beauty of a stack, cut, and slide and shuffle is that the assembly line method works very well on creating these cards. So you do your cuts first, you do your shuffling first, and then you lay them out on the cardstock. If you don't need this extra step like I do, you really don't need it. You can, if you're good at layering and aligning, you can layer this directly on your piece of cardstock, or yeah, cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4. I need this little cheat, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Okay, make sure everything is lined properly. The beauty of liquid glue, you guys, the absolute beauty. I am a liquid glue girl. Again, I do need that little extra time to line things up. All right, so tomorrow is Thursday, and we know that we go live on Thursdays with our Case the Catalog. And tomorrow, what did I say we're doing? I have it as a preview. The upcoming. Oh, I can't remember which one I said I was doing tomorrow. But again, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Join us tomorrow live for a Case the Catalog. Oh, Garden Walk. That is a new suite that is in the annual, the new September to December mini catalog. So that is the bundle or the collection that we will be casing tomorrow. If you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you have it, hey, Tamika, welcome. So that's what we've got going on Thursday, tomorrow. And then Sunday is the second Sunday of the month. And we know what happens on the second Sunday of the month. The second Sunday of the month, we do roll of the die. And you guys, I'm excited. We have 4 participants scheduled for roll of the die on Sunday. So starting at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, for 4 hours, you get to join in on a whole bunch of crafting with a whole bunch of creative ladies. And I'm stamping with my friends. That's how we get everything done. So there's our third, and we've got 1 more to get done. Okay. So we have stacked, cut, shuffled, and now we've created all of our card fronts. All right, now because this technique is absolutely perfect for using your designer series paper. Showcasing your designer series paper is more accurate. And by showcasing it, so you could go through a pack of designer series paper, grab a couple of different sheets. You can do 3 sheets, you can do 4 sheets, you can do however many sheets you'd like to create the cards. Typically though, it is 3 to 4. Here we go, and this is the last one. All right, I'm excited about this one. All right. Now, do y'all have a favorite of the ones that we've put together thus far? I don't know if I have a favorite. I think this one might be my favorite. I'm not sure. Yes, our roll of the die is on Sunday. All right, so here, based on that, here are the 3 card fronts that we have created for today, okay? All right. So we're gonna mat these. Uh-oh. What did I do? Why is this one short? Why is that one short? Somehow I think I didn't realize my trimmer on my other trimmer was not was dulling. So I've got a lot of hangers on here, which I don't like. So I'm going to trim those up. So here's one. So it's going to mat on this. This is going to mat on this one. I don't know why that one's short. Why is that one short? Or did I just do something wrong? No, that's short. All right. Well, we'll make an exception on that one. Why am I short? All right. So the next thing we want to figure out is, let's get our card bases done. This is 1. 2. I'm trying to figure out how I cut that one so short. And I can't figure it out. Do you ever do that? Oh, you know, I have a sanding block somewhere. So that's going to be that one. Oh, I think I know what I'll do, Sue. For tonight, I am just going to make it all look a little distressed and add that as a design element. How about we do that? It's just easier, right? And when I say distress it, you guys, look at how easy it's going to be to distress this, okay? Grab a pair of snips. And we're just going to and that's how we're gonna, so instead of it looking like it was a mistake, ha ha ha, we're gonna distress the entire thing, give it a little bit of texture. And make that a design element. How's that for being smart? How's that for being smart? So that's what's called distressing of the paper. So we've just distressed that and given it a little bit of texture to go with that. So we'll do that for all of them. I'll go through that really quickly. I like to tell people that I stamp with, and they tell me the same thing. There's no such thing as a mistake in stamping. Okay? There's absolutely no such thing as a mistake. Everything is just an opportunity to be creative. I like that. Don't you like that? Everything is an opportunity to be creative. And one of my friends always says, just put a bird on it. That's 2. One more. We got 2 more to do really quickly. I know there's a tool out there. It's like a little, and you use it to distress paper. But you don't need to buy that tool, you guys. You can just take your paper snips like I'm doing here and just distress your paper yourself. Now, if you wanted to spend it, you can go right ahead and do that. Stampin' Up does not sell one, so I wouldn't know where to tell you to get one. I think Tim Holtz sells one. Okay. Oops. Now, my question to myself is, and I don't want to take away from the paper, so I think what I'm really going to do is just do a sentiment, okay? All right. So before I do that, I'm going to grab a 2-inch circle punch. Let me go with this one. I don't have my label on it, but this is our decorative 2-inch punch. And I'm just gonna punch out some vellum. And I just need 4 of them. 1. 2, 3, and 4. And we need 4 because we have 4 cards, right? And then we're gonna punch some of our very vanilla, in my case, because that's what I'm using, for our sentiments. So I am committing to a sentiment that's no bigger than 1 3/4 inches or 2 inches, okay? Because that's what I'm punching. Alrighty. Now the question we ask ourselves is, do we want to so 1 here, 1 there, 1 here, 1 there, and last one here, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. So we've got our parts, we've got our pieces. And now let's design our card. So I'm going to find a sentiment stamp set. We have So Sincere. We have Something Fancy. Let's see what else we have. Anybody have any ideas for a sentiment set that they want to use? I'm still searching. I hadn't thought about that part. You know, sometimes the inked and tiled, the sentiments on that one are a little tiny for me. I wanted something a little bit bigger. So that's why I'm not going with the inked and tiled. Do I have a belated birthday stamp? I would have to pull out my what do you call that thing? My Evernote to see if I have a belated birthday. I think I'm going to go with this one, Be Gentle with Yourself. And that's from the online exclusive, Growth Takes Time. Okay. Grab me a block. Okay. Now I'm going to emboss, because y'all know I am an emboss person, right? I love to emboss. So I've got to do that. Now the beauty of stamping with Versamark ink is, or VersaFine Clair, is that it takes a little bit to dry. So let's see. And I use VersaFine for that very reason. I can stamp all 4 of them, and it takes a little bit of time for it to dry. I have almost all the colors of the VersaFine just because I use them. This one, I think. Do I want to go with that one? I'm questioning myself here. I am questioning myself. All right, we will go with that one. Oh, no, we're gonna go with the brown one. We are going with the brown. All right, it's not straight on my blocks. I'm gonna try to straighten that up. Again, because I'm stamping with circles, it kind of doesn't matter whether it's straight or not. Kind of doesn't matter. Let me grab my my clear embossing powder, get that ready. I like the sentiment, be gentle with yourself. We can be our own worst critic, can we not? And we are, more than likely, we are harder on ourselves than anybody else is on us. So every now and then we just have to like remind ourselves, you know, just take it easy. You are human. So that's why I kind of love this sentiment. I think it's perfect. I think, it's an encouraging word for someone that's maybe going through something, that you kind of want to take the time to let them know, hey, you're okay. You're human. Uh-oh. I rocked. That's why there's 2 sides to cardstock. I rocked a little bit. So now I'm going to go down and up. And in the spirit of assembly line, we're just going to do our stamping, add our embossing powder, and then we're just going to heat emboss them all at the same time. Be gentle with yourself. I'm afraid to turn off the sound on my computer because I keep getting all the notifications from everything else that's open on my computer. But I'm afraid that if I turn it off, because I'm really not that technically savvy, that then you guys won't be able to hear me when I broadcast. So I apologize effusively if you keep hearing the little notifications. I guess I could turn off notifications, right? There we go. And I normally do double and triple heat emboss. I think for tonight, we're only going to do a single emboss, okay? Just once. Because we're making 4 cards and we got to make sure that we get it all done. Okay? You know, guys, I am so ready for the weekend. Are y'all ready for the weekend? I know it's just Wednesday, right? But I am ready for the weekend. Oops, that's 1. That's 2. I'm always fascinated by embossing. I love to see when it changes. I think that's what I really appreciate about it. And then when you do a triple or a double heat emboss, it's just so much better. And the last one. So the beauty of doing 4 at a time is, guys, if you are looking to give someone a gift set of cards, a set of 4, you can stack, cut, and shuffle and give them 4 cards, 4 completely different cards, right? That's there. This is here. Make sure I have all my parts and my pieces now. This goes here, and this goes here, and this goes here. All right, so we're gonna put them together, and this should go relatively quickly at this point, okay? So the thing about what we're using this for is wherever we have this join of all of them, this is where we're going to put our what's this thing called? Our vellum. This is where we're going to put our focal point so that it doesn't show, so that it kind of hides and covers the join area. Okay? So I'm going to grab a glue dot or 2. And I'm going to put one here, because that's kind of where I want this to go. Right? We're going to just do them all. Let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to grab a piece of ribbon. And I'm going to grab, in this instance, my seal. And I'm going to put 1, 2 lines right here. And what I'm going to do, somebody I know that's watching taught me that. I wonder who that was. Alright, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to have a loop, making sure that it crosses on one and crosses on the other, like so. There we go. And then I'm gonna put our sentiment right over top. I'm looking for my dimensionals. Look it. Where did y'all go? All right, let's go with the mini ones then. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to use, I'm gonna put everything on the cardstock, right? Put one here, put one there, put one here, and put one here. Okay. Make sure our sentiment is straight. Like so. Oops. Put that right on here, like so. Trim this guy just a bit. Now the other thing you could do is, if for this purpose I am keeping all of the sentiments the same, but again, in keeping with the same idea, if you're going to use, if you're going to give it as a gift set, you can change the sentiment. One can be happy birthday, one can be thinking of you, one can be sending thoughts and prayers. It can be anything. Just give them different sentiments to complete a set, or like I'm doing in this instance, I'm just keeping it all one sentiment. Okay, so that's completely up to you, designer wise. I really did cut this one short. I'm not even sure how the heck I did that. Okay, and this is what our design is going to look like tonight, you guys. So let's quickly just go ahead and do the others. You will need a piece of, and because I used Pebbled Path, you will need a piece of Very Vanilla on the inside, which I didn't cut tonight. And then I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish all of these, and I'm going to do one envelope for you tonight, because doing the others will be the same. All right. So let's go ahead, put our glue dot down. Now this is such a wide area, and we know that we have a 2-inch layer that's going on top of that. So you really could do more than one glue dot because it's going to be covered on the vellum. Okay, so let's put this here. Going to do our 2 strips of, we're going to cut our ribbon. And I think I'm using, let's see, I didn't measure my ribbon, but I used about maybe 3 or 4 inches of ribbon. Again, it's easier most times to use more than to use less. And in this instance, so we can see, I should use more, right? So, yeah, I want it to be more. Sometimes that's why it's easier to lay it down first and then just do your cutting or your trimming after you have what you need laid out. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna use right there. So let's see what we have here. So this is about 6 inches of ribbon. I said 2 or 3 before, but it's about 6 inches of ribbon, y'all. Okay, make sure they cross, do your loop, and the good thing about the loop is you're making sure that when you loop them, they come down in the, what is going on here? I'll tell you, that first one was so easy. Right? That first one was easy. Ay, ay, ay. Now I can't remember what I did. I think that's my problem. Right? I don't know what I did. It's not coming out right this time. That's why all cards, handmade cards. All right. So this is what we're going to do. There we go. There we go. And then I'm trying to make sure that my cross, where the strands cross, will be lower, so that the sentiment can make sure it covers it. Okay. I tell ya. And we can't forget to add some embellishments. Y'all, I can't forget to add embellishments. Okay. What do you guys think about the cards? Do you like them? I am definitely a late night stamper, y'all. One, because when I get home from work, by the time I get the dogs fed, well, I haven't even fixed dinner for myself. That's the thing about deciding at the last minute to do something, which is kind of what I did. I thought about it at work and I set about to doing it, is you don't leave yourself a lot of time for planning. And then God forbid something happens and you got to stay later at work or something like that, then your whole game plan is out the door, right? Okay. This is card number 2. Card number 3. And really, this can be a quick process if you have a design already in mind. And when I say design, if you've already picked out your stamp set, you know what you're doing, it can go relatively quickly. But just like that, you guys, we have created 4 cards tonight that, matter of fact, I don't know if I know anybody that needs these. So the thing about that is to make them and send them, right? So 4 people will be getting these cards. I'm going to put them in the mail. Absolutely. I find that I'm beginning to amass my own designs, my cards, because one of the things that will happen to me is that I will make the card for somebody's birthday. I'll have it sitting somewhere and I'll completely forget that I have it there, and I won't be prepared. I will not. And that person's card will be sitting on my desk and I'll be like, oh, you know that word I'm about to use, right? Oh, crap. Right? So I know that I want this guy to be right there. So this has to come here, and that has to come here. There you go. Look at how much easier that one was. I don't even know what happened on that one. Grab my glue dots on this one. Make sure it's there. Make sure it's there. There. and there. Make sure it gets on that a little bit. Okay. Make sure we're straight. That goes on. Trim our ends because we don't need our tails hanging off of our card. Okay. Okay. And with that, we are almost done with card number 3. And doesn't that little distressing add just a little bit of extra oomph on the card? It doesn't even look like a snaggle, right? So that's the, like I said, the beauty about card making is that there is no such thing as a mistake. It is just a design element waiting to happen or to be discovered. Card number 3. Oops, I can see that that's not straight. Okay. And last one. So on this one, I think what I'm gonna do, just for a little difference, is I'm probably gonna change the direction of my ribbon. I should have thought about that before. Just for a little different nuance. Ooh, and that's the other thing I'll do too. So here's what we're gonna do on this one, right? Just to show you and change it up just a little bit, okay? So we're gonna put this here, just like we did before. All right, but this time we're gonna make this card go in a different orientation, okay? So before, everything we were doing was in portrait. So this time we're gonna go landscape. Oh no, we can't go landscape. Why can't we go landscape, y'all? Why can't we go landscape on this one? Anybody know? I'll tell you. Because our flowers are directional. Right? There was one of them that we could have done that way if we had thought about it early enough. But we didn't. Because 2 of the main pieces were not directional. That's right, the flowers. So if we had thought about it ahead of time, well, no, that one has flowers too. So we couldn't have done it because they were directional. All right, so it was a thought, but so now you have some ideas. If your patterns or your papers are not directional, then you can change these up just by how your orientation is of your cardstock. So you could have it a different look, okay? Perfect. Now, a couple of extra things that you could have done that we could do. But again, we want the designer paper to be the star of the show. So I really don't want to add too many extra embellishments, too many extra things to it. But if you wanted to, you could emboss with one of the embossing folders, the Petal pink piece that I'm using. You could have embossed that. You could do some other die cut elements like leaves or flowers. You could do that. But I want the designer paper, like I said, to be the star of the show. All right. And you guys, there we have our 4 cards. I am going to stamp on the inside. I just don't have any of the cardstock cut yet. So, but I'll do one for you, right? So there are the 4 cards with our stack, cut, and shuffle technique, okay? While we have this, and I'm only going to do one of them, let me show you how I decorate my envelopes. So before we cut that piece of cardstock to 3 3/4. So we have a piece of designer paper that is it's about 2 inches, right? 2 1/4. So all I'm going to do is take this 2 1/4 and put it right on my envelope. Add my adhesive. I just realized I have to make a card for tomorrow. And I'm going to turn this over because, again, you see the floral print. So I'm just going to use one of the other sides. And the beauty of the Stampin' Up! Paper is that all of the colors, are the same colors, are in all of the prints. So it is a coordinated stack. Okay. So we would do the same to all 4 the 3 other envelopes. Oops. Let that dry just a bit. I'm going to bring out my big glue scissors. And I'm just going to cut. There's another way to decorate your envelopes. The envelope flap. I don't have a piece of cardstock, but I typically use a piece that's a 4 1/4, 4 1/4 by 4 maybe. It doesn't have to be that long. You can even save this if you'd like. Okay, so here we have one of our cards in an envelope that's already done. Okay. And just like that, you have a decorated card, an envelope. So you guys, what do you think about this this method of the stack, cut, and shuffle? What do you think about that? Do you like that method? I'm gonna create a Pinterest board, and I'm gonna share the link in the comments when I've created the board with the pictures. And you guys, if you do decide to utilize and create using this particular stack, cut, and slice design, please post them at that link on my Pinterest board. I would love to see what you create. Now I'm gonna go find some embellishments and finish decorating my cards, because I need a little gem somewhere, because that's just me. I need gems. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you have any questions, if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Please reach out to me. If you would love to become a member of the Stampin' Up! Family, I would love to have you join my Stampin' Up! Team. Reach out to me in either event. You can reach me at linktr.ee/sweets signatures. All of my contact information is there. Please reach out to me, and I would love to tell you more about the Stampin' Up! Opportunity, or how to have fun creating and crafting with me in the craft room. On that note, you guys, thanks again for joining me tonight, and happy stamping!